Two people, same meal, same portion size. One stays lean their whole life. The other gains weight easily, no matter how good they try to be. Is it willpower? Laziness? Genetics? Bad luck? Turns out, science has a pretty clear answer, and it's way more interesting than eat less, move more. Let's break down why bodies are so different, using actual biology instead of gym bro myths or diet culture guilt. Let's start with the thing everyone's heard. Calories in versus calories out. If you eat more energy than you burn, you store the extra as fat. Eat less than you burn, you lose it. This is technically true. It's basic physics. Energy can't just disappear. But here's the catch. That equation is true but incomplete. It tells you what happens, not why it happens differently for different people. Because calories out isn't a fixed number. It changes person to person, day to day. And it's controlled by systems in your body you don't consciously control. That's where the real story begins. Twin and adoption studies are some of the most powerful tools scientists have for separating nature from nurture. And the data is striking. Studies estimate that 40 to 70% of the variation in body weight between people is due to genetics. That doesn't mean there's one fat gene. It means hundreds of genes, each nudge things slightly. How hungry you feel, how full you feel after eating, how efficiently your body stores fat, how much energy you burn just existing, and even how much you crave certain foods. One well-studied example, the FTO gene. People with certain variants of this gene tend to feel less full after eating and are statistically more likely to carry extra body fat, not because they lack discipline, but because their satiety signals are quite literally wired differently. Think of genetics like a thermostat setting. Two houses can have identical insulation and heating systems, but if one thermostat is set to 65 degrees Fahrenheit and the other to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, they'll behave completely differently, even in the exact same environment. This leads to one of the most important and most misunderstood concepts in the science of weight, the set point theory. Your body doesn't just passively store whatever you eat. It actively defends a certain weight range, similar to how it defends body temperature or blood pH. This defense system is run largely by a hormone called leptin, produced by fat cells. Here's how it works. More body fat means more leptin, which signals your brain, specifically the hypothalamus, to reduce hunger and increase energy use. Less body fat means less leptin, which cranks hunger up and slows your metabolism down to protect your fat stores. This is exactly why so many people who lose weight through extreme dieting gain it back. Their body isn't failing, it's doing precisely what evolution built it to do: fight to return to its defended set point. This isn't weakness. It's biology protecting you from starvation, using a system that evolved over hundreds of thousands of years when food scarcity, not abundance, was the danger. Let's talk about metabolism, because it's often oversimplified. Your total daily energy burn has a few components. First, basal metabolic rate, BMR, the energy your body burns just to stay alive, breathing, pumping blood, repairing cells. This is 60 to 70% of your total burn, and it varies significantly based on muscle mass, age, hormones, and genetics. Second, NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the energy burned through fidgeting, standing, walking around, even unconsciously shifting in your seat. Studies have found NEAT can vary by up to 2,000 calories a day between two people of similar size, simply because some people are biologically wired to move more without even thinking about it. Third, exercise. Surprisingly, often the smallest slice of the pie for most people. Fourth, the thermic effect of food, the energy used to digest what you eat. So two people can eat identical diets and do identical workouts, yet burn wildly different amounts of energy, because their BMR and NEAT are working on totally different settings. Beyond leptin, several other hormones shape hunger and fat storage. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, released by the stomach. Some people naturally produce more of it or are more sensitive to it. Insulin regulates blood sugar and fat storage. Insulin resistance, which is more common in some people due to genetics and lifestyle, can promote fat storage and increase hunger. Cortisol, the stress hormone. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which is linked to increased abdominal fat storage and cravings for high-calorie food. None of these are things people consciously control by trying harder. They operate below the level of conscious choice. Genetics load the gun, but environment pulls the trigger. We're living in what researchers call an obesogenic environment, one engineered, often unintentionally, to promote overeating. Ultra-processed foods engineered to be hyperpalatable, constant food availability, sedentary jobs, less sleep, more stress, and portion sizes that have ballooned over the past 50 years. This explains why obesity rates have risen dramatically in just a few decades. Genes don't change that fast. Our environment changed, and people with genetic predispositions toward weight gain are far more affected by that environment than people who are naturally more protected by their biology. It's like two plants with different genetics planted in the same soil. One might thrive and grow tall, the other more modestly, even though the soil is identical. So, is it hopeless? Not at all. Genetics isn't destiny, it's predisposition. Environment, sleep, stress management, food quality, and movement all still matter and can meaningfully shift outcomes within a person's biological range. But the science is clear on one thing. Body weight differences between people are not simply a measure of willpower or moral character. They're the result of a complex interaction between genes, hormones, brain chemistry, and environment, most of which happens far below conscious awareness. Understanding this doesn't mean giving up on health. It means dropping the shame for yourself and for others and focusing on what actually works. Sustainable habits, not blame. So next time you see someone who's naturally thin or someone who struggles with their weight, remember, there's a whole invisible system of genes, hormones, and biology at play that has very little to do with discipline. If you found this interesting, subscribe for more science breakdowns like this, and let me know in the comments. Did any of these facts surprise you?